I'd like to go over a couple ideas if you're planning on sending your own glass to CBS to have coated like I am. I received my first crinkle glass today, possibly the first in the nation, because it's not going on sale for 2 to 3 more weeks yet nationally. And the first 7 sheets you see on the far right are the new crinkle glass, which by all rights you can't see any difference from it visually until you fuse it. Until you heat it up, you're not going to see any difference between crinkle glass and any other dichroic glass per se. So there's a couple interesting things about the idea that you might want to send your own glass in to have custom coated. On the far right you see 7 sheets of, starting right here, of green, magenta, blue, silver, violet, what have you. So anyway, these sheets that you see on the left side, I'm getting ready to send off to have them coated. And that's what I want to talk about this crinkle glass and coating your own glass. I send my own stained glass textures in, like this one's called hammered, to have it coated with dichroic. It doesn't make any sense, is where I want to go with this, to have this glass coated with crinkle. Because the only time crinkle is when it's fired. So if you're going to have a piece of stained glass coated with dichroic glass, find you a good cold color. And cold color means, well, in this case, it just means a texture or a dichroic effect that you can appreciate without having to fuse it, because you're not going to fuse your stained glass. You might fire polish it so that you can't scratch off the dichroic and then cut it up and put it in your stained glass creations. So I wanted to show that in this particular case. Don't worry about cleaning up your glass down there, because CBS is going to put it through their special washer and rinse the glass off. Gets all the fingerprints off and anything else that you might have under oil from your glass cutter. This is called flute. I don't know what kind of color I'm going to have put on this. I've done flute in the past where I've had several different colors. I don't know what I'll do with this, but definitely, again, I'm not going to be having crinkle put on it because it doesn't make any sense. Because crinkle looks just like any other dichro until you heat it up. So let's get that out of the way. Rest of these textures, check out this. Can you imagine what this is going to look like? Perhaps I will do that in crinkle, or I'll do the new fusion. Who knows? Well, fusion's glass you can get right now. It's the newest glass by CBS until the crinkle comes out. But I plan on having a bunch of these sheets. This is just some of the sheets I'm going to have cut. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about this custom glass if you plan on sending your own glass there. What you need to do is you need to get yourself a 19-inch circle like I've got here. I'm getting ready to send this orange red bullseye down there. Let's see, that's bullseye 4224, and that's coefficient 90, by the way. And what it is, it's got these little streamers and frit. It's called streamers and frit. There's no fractures on there, and fractures are, let's find you another sheet. This sheet's all streamers. Here's fractures. You can see the fractures. They're these little pieces, these little shards of glass. You definitely do not want to do this. You definitely do not want to run your hands. I'm barely touching the texture. You do not want to run your hands, because you will get cut. It's a guarantee you're going to get cut. These are called fractures. And then you can see the 96. I'm getting ready to send in the 96. You see my little reflection in there. 96 is very shiny glass. So let's get these streamers out of the way. Getting ready to send these in. When I send in this glass is going to be 100% custom coating. The reason I can say that is because none of these sheets are stock colors that CBS is going to stock and have coated with dichro, in order that you can call in one day and buy a baby blue or a pink or an orange or a green or a brown or whatever color that you want. They're not going to have it. You have to send it in yourself. So let's move this piece. You want to trace your glass, or create yourself, I should say, a 19-inch circle. And let me see if I back up the camera so you can get an idea. This is 96 spectrum. You want to cut out your glass into a disc, 19-inch. What I do advise you to do is when you cut out that 19-inch circle, like in here, is that what I did is I took it over to here to my disc grinder and I ground my edges. This is called a disc grinder. It's a Glass Star disc grinder. Grind your edges so they're nice and smooth. And the reason you want to do that, nice and smooth, is because you don't want to give your glass any chance of getting broken shipment. I've had that happen. So if you have anything that's, I can run my finger around this edge because I've ground it. You're seeing the black from the magic marker from tracing around it perhaps, but I've ground this edge. And that way I've taken off any burrs, it's totally smooth, and it's going to arrive in a pretty solid piece. I know. I'm going to crate this stuff up with foam and everything and send it to CBS, and they're going to coat it for me. This is going to be gorgeous. So is this one. Actually, they all are. I'm going to be sending all this glass off to CBS to be coated. And yes, some of it's going to have crinkle, some is going to have fusion, some will have aurora borealis, but every sheet is going to be 100% custom. So if you're interested in perhaps splitting an order with me, going in on it, contact me through email. I'm going to be cutting up all this fusion, by the way, and putting it on eBay. I thought I would do it today, but the server from YouTube was going wonky, so I wasn't able to get all my sheets on YouTube filmed and uploaded before I started cutting up all this glass. Anyway, I just thought I'd share the idea of custom coated glass that you would send to CBS to have coated. These are my cutoffs from cutting out my sheets. And you can always use the cutoffs in some other projects, of course. So just throwing down some ideas about what it's like to send your glass to CBS. They love coating custom glass, just not a lot of people are aware you can do that. So see you next video. If you like my videos, by the way, give me a rating. Toss me a star or two. And thank you again for watching. If you got any questions, please feel free to email me. My eBay ID is Indiana Glassman, where you'll be seeing this crinkle on eBay within a day or so. Bye-bye.